Well, we're almost through the alphabet, but if you stick with me, I'll explain why probably this week we're going to be out of the alphabet and into 3.14 live. So let's start with the patch notes. We're on to 314 PTU-T, which is on the left side of your screen, and PTU 314 PTU-S, the previous patch from Friday, would be on the right side of your screen. If you saw my Grip Hex video, you would note that it was on S, not on T. I have not had a chance to go and play T before I'm making this video. This is the first patch that I know of that I haven't even had a chance to play. Not that I haven't recorded in all of them, etc., but this one I haven't even had a chance to play. So understand that I've only had a chance to speak with two different folks who were in this patch, and they seem to have confirmed that things are about the same on issues. They haven't seen anything that hasn't been on this list. So that's as good as I can get on the fly like this. So let's go into it. The testing focuses remain the same. We have a known issues list that's right here that is slightly different. What I like the most is that they've managed to get the trading system back up and running as far as we can tell. So in the S patch, there was a major problem where players were unable to buy or sell commodities at admin and TDD terminals under the known issues section. And if you note, that is not here in the known issues on the T patch. And not only that, it's listed as a major bug fix underneath buy or sell commodities at admin and TDD terminals. If you are still finding that issue, don't forget, first of all, please place a comment below or hit me up on Discord so I can be sure to let everyone know that. But also, don't hesitate to get that on the issue council ASAP, noting any specifics you think might have contributed to that and some basic information about what kind of computer rig you're running. That will help greatly if there is an issue that is causing that, such as desync and other things. Because desync's been a major issue throughout all of these test patches, and I wouldn't put it past it being an issue, but it's unlikely. So we'll see where that is. Players are still reporting that they're unable to select the system, may require them to go back in and change the launcher. Specifically, getting rid of the user folder. I had a few people ping me about this and mention that, like, I think I've spent every single video mentioning how to delete the user folder out of your PTU folder. So I'm just going to remind you all that you go into the launcher's top right corner. It's on the far right tab. You can get your pathway right there. Go to the PTU folder and delete the user folder. I hope that's as short as I can make it. Do not delete anything in the live folder. Delete it only in the PTU folder. Okay, that's as short as I think I can get it. So let's get back to this. The pipe system has distribution bug, which affects weapon capacitor outputs, especially on bigger ships like the 600i. Now, this has been added. Yogi has already responded down below to this brand new T patch, noting that they have discovered this issue. They have a fix, but it is unlikely that it will be able to be hot fixed and even possibly into live. I have to double check how he wrote that down below in a moment. But the 600i will face an issue if the capacitor for the laser weaponry, like your 3 size 5 guns, if it's below 33%. So for now, do not put your capacitor underneath 33%. So when you're looking at a triangle where it's 33, 33, 33, where it's propulsion, weaponry, shields, like engineering, the little gear symbol, make sure that the weaponry section is not under 33%. You'll be fine. That's what it's talking about here. So it's very specific. If you notice, they still have the bed logout issue, so be sure not to use the bed inside the ship under any circumstances when you're on the PTU. And they still have the editing Moby Glass functionality issue, where literally just changing the case of the Moby Glass. So if you go to the factory line store on Microtech and you purchase a new color Moby Glass case, you can mess things up. So do not buy one of those for now. this has been an issue for quite a few patches, just like the missiles right below it. Missiles do not follow flares as a countermeasure is still an issue. And vehicles are not fully repairing / refueling in VMS. And finally, the infamous, it's the new Demon Fang combat knife to me. Fan-made localizations will not function. I still have not had a chance to dig through this. From when I asking around, as I understand it, we were correct that it has something to do with the languages and how the game presents the menus and such for different locales. So if this impacts you, first of all, let me know, because I'm curious about which areas need fan-made localizations or which prefer it. And is this having a major impact on your game? You know, are you able to, if I suddenly had every menu in a foreign language that I did not know off the top of my head, I would know the basics of where to go. But it is something curious. If this is going to become a longer term issue, maybe we could do some interesting things here. Maybe we can dig through and create like a take the menu buttons and literally change them over into a couple different languages, and then have people that can translate them over. I think it might be some fun things we can do if it's only like a specific set of languages or a specific language that is greatly impacted by this issue. If that's what we're talking about here, that'd be really cool to be able to help them out. So just a thought I had in my head about this. I don't know how long a term it is, but I'm starting to see it pop up with multiple patches. So clearly it's here to stay for a little bit. So the feature updates, the Arena Commander PvP pickups rework. So they've changed combat and ammo counts, and they've reduced the rate of pickups in Arena Commander. Pickups are no longer specifically connected to kills. A player must now gain a given score to unlock a pickup, which will then spawn on their next kill. May take approximately 3 to 4 kills. All pickups have been adjusted to give a percentage of requested resources rather than fixed values. Removed fuel pickups. I think that's a good idea. I've never had the issue of having to pick up fuel from like these power-up type things that are all over the map. In Arena Commander, you're like in a death spear, basically, and you're fighting around with other players, and you can pick up different things to replenish your ammunition, and there's these little fuel things, but I don't remember them ever really being an issue, although I have not played Arena Commander in a lot of patches. I got the Pirate Gladius mission done and did the alien attack. I just don't remember it being a major issue in the times that I've played Arena Commander, and I guess we'll see. I think the bigger message here is players should now be able to buy or sell commodities at the admin and TDD terminals. That's a huge step in the right direction. And finally, a small nod to technical for fixing another service crash and a back-end service optimization. As I mentioned in other patches, and I'm not going to harp on this, I'd love to see slightly more on these lines explaining what kind of server crash or what type of back-end service optimization, like which back-end service, or just mention, you know, we might see a 4% increase in this. Because, once again, technical has done the hard work. A small little nod would go a long way. And it would help us connect the dots on some of these other things where we can see things disappear from the known issues list and not be appeared on because they're not considered a major bug fix. They're just a bug fix, and they never make it. They basically slip through the cracks. And then we either have to assume that CIG is no longer tracking the issue where it's not enough people are impacted by it, or it's been fixed, and we'll never truly know. It would be great to have that confirmation here on these technical sections. Just going to leave it at that. And once again, be sure to post on these patches. So if you go into the Star Citizen Spectrum, and then you go to patch notes, it'll list itself as like 3.13 active patches or something, but it's actually all the 3.14 PTU patches, one by one, are in there. And right now, all I'm doing is I'm searching through the page underneath it, which shows all the different comments and such, and they just keep loading and loading and loading. And I'm looking specifically for Yogi's CIG response. They highlight them in a different color. And I'm hoping it's here. Although it might be in a separate thread. Anything's possible with this kind of stuff. Let's take a look at the old thread. Okay, so if you're still following along, and I'm trying a new browser again because I'm trying to get one that doesn't freeze up when I'm recording, uh, Yogi Yogi-CIG posted on the previous patch. Cheers! I got a perfect repro on this on Friday, shortly before I had to leave. The repro is that the 600i size 3 size 5 laser cannons lose all ammo if weapon assignment isn't at least 33%, as in 33% on the power management V2 triangle, the capacitor side of it. The even odder behavior is when I swap out one of the size 5 laser cannons out for a size 5 laser repeater. Then every energy weapon gets 1 round ammo default power triangle assignments, which is pretty weird. It's certainly a proper WTF bug, and will be the first thing for me to debug on Monday morning. Now, he responded back today and said, so we found out that there was a bug in the pipe distribution code, but we cannot easily fix it without endangering a lot of other gameplay systems. We cannot submit a fix for the initial 3.14 release. Sorry. We're trying for the next available patch release. And I think that folks explained a few things. There's a bit of frustration in there, but there's also people talking about that, thanks for mentioning that this is a patch. I want to recognize that Yogi, that type of communication is greatly appreciated, and that's awesome. That there was a player who brought this up and showed them an issue, and Yogi confirmed the issue and said, look, I see there's an issue. I'm going to take a look at it. And then came back and actually said, hey, I did take a look at it. Me and my team, we took a look at it, and we tried to make this work, but we're going to have to lay this down. And then you can see down here, known issues. The pipe system has a distribution bug which affects weapon capacitor outputs, especially on bigger ships like the 600i. This is a direct connection to this known issue. Now, granted, I like people watching my videos, so I'm not going to say that it would be really awesome if they could link right here, like Yogi's response. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to watch this. But connecting the dots like this is very helpful. I appreciate Yogi's communication. I like that CIG does these type of things where they show a lot of things out in the open. The only reason I pick on technical is not because they're not capable, and they're incredibly capable keeping this world spinning. It's because they don't have this type of communication out in public. That's all I'm going to mention about that. I'm not going to keep harping on them. Please, guys, keep doing the hard work. The guys and gals over there in technical, keep doing the hard work you do every day. You're greatly appreciated. But and once again, Yogi, thank you for stepping up and showing what the chops can be of the folks that care for the ships of this game. So once again, all this means to you as the player is do not put your gear under 33%. Keep it at 33, 33, 33 on your weapons, on your 600Is, and preferably give it a little bit more. That's probably a good indication. You can try that as well, but do not put it under 33% on your weapons. So now that I've harped on that a little bit, I just wanted to really show that level of communication. And that's important. So I know some folks are probably saying, hey, I don't got a 600i. I think Origin bad. Well, this could also be just as easily a Cutlass. This could easily be a Mustang, and this is something that we need to keep in mind with when we think of these things. Like every ship needs this level of attention. Every ship that has a major issue needs to be worked on. And right here is where that happened. Keep the communication up. Now, I would suggest to keep up with the latest patches. So if you're going to want to do an impact, for example, right now would be to post on the 3.14T patch whatever issues you're facing. Some of the folks that you'll see on these comment sections, which I don't condone, whatever's down there, I didn't really take a hard look at. It is what it is. Post on the latest ones, keep up with everything, and provide as much detailed information as possible, but exactly what the issue is or exactly what your concern is, preferably linking other parts of the topic. So there's more research there. So if somebody from CIG or the community wants to help you out or, support your cause and try to see if there's something going on here, or, hey, I got that issue too. I wonder if he means this, or I wonder, what the deal with that is. They have a string to pull, and they can keep, pulling that thread and help you continue your goals. And if you see somebody else with something you agree with, don't forget to give them an upvote. It never hurts. Or add them a comment. It mentions like, hey, I don't exactly see that issue, but I do see where you're coming from because I've got an issue with blank. That's just as important. So, changing gears slightly, we have gone through the patch notes for T and, recapping S a little bit. Let's go into This Week in Star Citizen. This Week in Star Citizen, we've got a few interesting things. Number one of which is we can finally stop speculating on when 314 Live is likely to come out. It's coming out this week, as long as everything goes well, and more so than usual, okay? So they even started This Week in Star Citizen today as Alpha 3.14 has undergone rigorous testing on the PTU, and thank you to all of you who participated. We're aiming to release 3.14 to the live servers this week, so warm those engines and keep an eye on Spectrum for when the new update drops. And I truly see Jake Bradley's comment here as a wonderful measure. I think just a little nod like that to the community means a lot. I think there's been a lot of folks who have been helping with the desyncs, both in ship, on foot, and also amongst party members and people you're shooting at and shooting for. I don't know how to phrase that any nicer. Because there was phantom shoots that you had to basically have somebody taking shots and see that there's an issue. All of that content. Testing Xenothreat. And I count, by the way, if you're listening to this and you went to the original Xenothreat weekend and you realized that they had to cancel it and you still showed up, you still put on that PTU, you still put you put your gear on and you got out there, guess what? You're part of the good. You're part of that cause. Just because they had to cancel Xenothreat a weekend the first time and they had to do the playtest last weekend again does not mean it means any less. It's this community is incredible at continuing those goals and continuing to have the dedication week after week after week to come back here and step up and keep supporting this cause. And that's freaking awesome. And so let's continue this. In case you missed it, Inside Star Citizen is back from its quarterly hiatus. Our latest episode takes a look at the beginnings of loot generation in the verse, along with absolutely fire VFX sprint report. Check it out here. I have not had a chance to actually watch the whole thing. I have skimmed through it. I have intentions to check it out. The VFX part of it, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to tie in with my now, I guess, infamous lighting tech that I'm going to be touching on with 3.14 Live. And I'm hoping to have maybe even a co-host and a couple, guests who come on and talk about specific topics. I really, really want to go in depth with that. And I've been heeding advice to stick to 3.14 Live for something that large and that involved. So please stay tuned for that, by the way. So let's get back to reality here. On Tuesday, which if you're probably listening to this on Tuesday, actually, come to think, but the narrative team has an exciting new short story called The Payout. Sully returns to Hurston to make a simple drop, but when it goes horribly wrong, he's forced to seek help from friends he left behind long ago. We also have our subscriber comlink and newsletter coming on Tuesday as well. Interesting. I think this is fun. I hope to do a dramatic reading and have some fun with it. Hope to see what's going on with Sully returning to Hurston. That's kind of interesting to me. Hurston's an old stopping ground for one of the missions I am involved with, Divisions, and enjoy my small contributions to it. Yeah, I think Hurston's a really nice setting for a lot of different things. Lorville in general, LOR with Ville added to the end to make it sound like a company mining town, per the lore team recently, is a really nice place. And Hurston is, and it may not look nice, but it's got heart. It's got spirit. It's a working class folk there. And I think that's the perfect setting for something where somebody has to turn, this person, Sully, has to turn around and attempt to fix things when they've gone horribly wrong and run into friends that he has left long ago. When a man has to do something like that, that's truly a great setting for a story, and I look forward to checking it out. Subscriber comm link and newsletter is on Tuesday as well, as I mentioned. I You can take them or leave them. I've been kind of a little hesitant about subscriber content lately because it seems to be that subscriber content is locked behind the subscriber wall, and that's fine until we start talking about the fact some of the subscriber content is over 6 months, 9 months, a year old, and we still haven't taken the meat and potato parts of that and brought it out to the com link section of the main part of the website. So I hope to see more of that in the future. I hope the lore team keeps doing that and keeps moving some of the content from the subscriber vault, so to speak, and move some of the better stories to the main page. I I hope I hope we see more and more of that, because that would be a great way once again, and put a big banner ad at the top and the bottom going, this was subscriber content. Want to see this right away? Become a subscriber. Like, show that value added aspect. I'm not saying just give it away, but I just feel like they could sell it way better, and it would help the community and keep enriching the community. Because as it is, I feel kind of hesitant about showing anything from the subscriber vault, and to not to the wider community, and that would take away a lot of those issues. Is like, look, after a certain amount of time, it is no longer subscriber only. And hey, and make sure you keep plugging. Hey, make sure you become a subscriber if you want the latest track on this Wednesday. The development teams have put together their reports for July, so keep an eye out for a pair of monthly reports on both Star Citizen, which would be the one, and Squadron 42, the other. The PU monthly report will be a comm link here on the RSI website, and the Squadron 42 monthly report will arrive via email. I'm going to cover both of those one video, and my attitude on this is, we have already been told extensively, and if you look at the roadmap, you'll understand, just how deep these grooves are. That Star Citizen, PU, and the Squadron 42, the single player team, are extensively the same. The Persistent Universe team and the Squadron 42 team work in tandem on many, many, many projects. They're extensively the same for a lot of different things. And most of the employees for CIG, as a reminder, work for Squadron 42. I am one of the people that has suggested, when Squadron 42 Part 1, because there's going to be 3 parts, they've split it into 3 parts at the minimum, is out the door, I feel that there should be a 6-month like crash session to get PU up and running better and truly rocking, because Squadron 42 is due up next year, hopefully early next year. Chris Robertson is moving his entire family to England for a certain period of time to really as he put it, Chris said he put it, they're going to try to finish Squadron 42, like completely get it published and wrapped up. And he kind of said like the end of this year was the intended target to kind of start that process of going over to the UK, moving to the UK as an entire family, and go over there. And credit to him and Sandy for having that drive to complete such a project. And I am hoping that focus can move a lot more discussion to Squadron 40, from Squadron 42 to the Persistent Universe, which badly needs a lot more push. Yes, there is a lot of content for Squadron 42 that does make it to the PU, the Persistent Universe that we're used to playing. But if your focus is Squadron 42, that will come first. If your focus is the Persistent Universe, that will come first. Yes, there is different server needs that Squadron 42 does not need compared to the PU. But I feel that we need to keep seeing content be produced and ready for the PU, and more interactions, more interlocking, even, dare I say it, a refocusing of entire refocusing of many teams over to the PU for full-on focus sessions would really help, for an entire quarter or two. Would really be wonderful. So I'm going to approach these reports, especially when they're kind enough to do 2 different reports on the same exact day, as hopefully one product. I want to put them next to each other and maybe see some comparisons and see where there's work being done on both that is kind of far-reaching, and maybe that'll warm my heart to this and give me more confidence in the process that the Squadron 42 teams are making these technical progressions and these developments that the PU team is then seeing the fruits of that labor. That is possible, and we'll see. So I'm gonna have some fun with this. So I'm gonna kind of be like the PU person cheering. Don't get me wrong. I own a copy of Squadron 42, and I will play the hell kick out of it when it's released. But I'm more obviously towards the PU. That's my bread and butter. That's what I'm looking forward to. Let's keep going. Inside Star Citizen's coming back on Thursday, and this episode is behind the scenes at game production with the U.S. vehicle content team and another sprint report. It must be the road to CitizenCon. Jared has said at least once in some of the more recent products that have been put out. I think it was a Star Citizen Live he mentioned flat out, like, let's remember that CitizenCon is coming up very quickly. It's only months away now. It is something where we will see a lot of things kind of start quietly getting hyped, but not every single card is played because there needs to be something for them to put on that big stage at CitizenCon. Yes, it'll be a digital CitizenCon, by the way, which I actually think is a good idea, at least this year. It's a shame to hear, but at the same time, with each country having different rules and regulations about whatever the thing that must not be named, I think it's fair that everyone has the same access. It would be really, really a shame for anybody involved to not be able to go because of different reasons, and especially if they're serious reasons. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm not here to talk about serious topics. I'm here to talk about spaceships, and internet, and and be able to help the community of Star Citizen be more informed and enjoy themselves about talking about Star Citizen. That's my job when I'm sitting here talking to this mic. So anyway, on Friday, you'll see an update to the subscriber vault and RSI newsletter. Will wait for you in the inbox. We've got a new Star Citizen Live episode as well, which will be broadcast on our Star Citizen Twitch channel. We'll update you on the topic, guest, and time here soon. This could be for two reasons. And number one reason that I stand by each time I say this is if 3.14 Live goes out, they may have a completely different set of topics and also access to different people than they would have had if there was a fail on the 3.14 launch. So if 3.14 Live somehow gets pushed back, they will have more access. Yes, I said the word more access to more folks. Because if it goes live, there's going to be a lot of support. A lot of people are going to be like standing by at like alert 2, standing by with like, a DEF CON 2 or something, ready to go if it gets crazy. And they will not want to be sitting in a room for 2 hours, desperately looking at their phones and their laptops and stuff to see if there's any risks or concerns. And also that means that Star Citizen Live will discuss a lot of the things from 3.14 Live. Now, if it is not the case where it doesn't work out, they'll have more access to people. But they will turn around and they will have a topic that is not going to rub everybody the wrong way about it. I think they'll talk about a very specific topic that has nothing to do with the list of features from 3.14 Live. The last thing they will want to do is be like, here's all the things we did not get out this week. They'd be more focused maybe on the future, or maybe talk about preparing for CitizenCon, getting a few people in there to talk about the digital stuff. For the record, one of the biggest things that surprised me is they have not gone at the low-hanging fruit that would be really enjoyable. Speaking of the technical team, I would love to see some of the technical side of folks and game engine staff and the server devs. I would love to see those crew be brought in for some of these, as long as they're comfortable with it, of course. And I would love to see like some of the stories behind the scenes of like, some of the action that they've had to do to keep our game alive and keep the dream alive. It'd be really fun to see what the hardware folks have to say, and even down to their interactions with the more meat and potatoes of the rendering crews and stuff like that, and how those hardware guys could talk with those other folks, and the guys and the gals from the rendering team could talk with them. It'd be really fun to see that interplay. We often hear about ships. We often hear about locations. We don't often hear, from teams. Like, for example, one of the more recent ones I really enjoyed was the lighting talk. I know I shouldn't really be citing that because I'm already stalling on releasing a video about it, but I really enjoyed that video content. I thought that was really fun to see the team that was painting the actual, sites and really setting the tone for different rooms with their work. It was really cool. It was really fun, and it was fun to hear their honesty about how they handle resource controls and how they try to push a little bit for different things because they know other teams don't need those resources in specific what they call scenes. It was fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope to see more of that. Also, one other thing, this is both, I'm going to mention it as something to look forward to and also mention something, if you're a content creator, you might want to pipe up on one. I'm particularly enjoying, and hopefully I'll be home for it. I've been recording the Twitch videos. So if Star Citizen does their Inside Star Citizen, or should I say Star Citizen live video on Twitch, I've been going over to the Twitch channel and physically recording it from there. And it's been pretty cool because it captures a lot of the energy of the room. And there's the questions that are physically being asked that you can't see on Spectrum because there's questions on Spectrum, but there's also questions that they've been collecting all week, by the way. So make sure to get on that thread if you want to get answers. But also, they put questions in from Twitch. When you put it on YouTube, at least the ones I've seen in the past did not have the Twitch tie-in. And I really enjoyed the Twitch tie-in when I record it live. It captures the energy of the room, and it also gets those questions in there. And so you can actually see the word for word. And sometimes you'd be surprised. There's some nuance to the questions that I don't see when it's reread. But I think everybody who's on that call or whatever method they're using to broadcast to each other, because some cases it's Jared in California, there's a team from Texas, there's a team from like the UK or Germany, and they're all talking to each other, it's like as if they're in the same place, because that's the way those studios have to operate. They have to operate from all over the world, and that's really cool. But it's also something where I think that sometimes we don't know exactly what they're seeing, what they're not, and I have a sneaking feeling that they can see the Twitch chat. I don't think it's just Jared, although Jared is obviously the one who prompts them up. But he doesn't read them out exactly the way they're asked sometimes. And they seem to answer the question like it's exactly how it's written. So either he's answering it, he's reading it out partially, and they're somehow reading into it and grabbing that answer. Or more likely, they're seeing the Twitch chat directly, or somebody is copy and pasting the approved questions into an internal chat system like Slack or Teams or Discord or whatever they're using, whatever system they chose to use. I don't know. There's probably 50 others. Maybe they got a BBS board. I don't know. IRC. They got an IRC chat. There you go. But whatever they're using, it seems to be that they're getting the exact wording, and Jared does not always read the exact wording out, so there is some nuance that is lost. So if it's your favorite ship, or if it's a specific thing that you're truly looking forward to getting an answer on, you may want to be on that Twitch thing and the Twitch channel while it's happening. And the second best option you have is to watch one of the videos that has that chat. Now, one thing I haven't been able to capture is if you're looking on a phone. Unfortunately, I just don't know how to hype up the chat. Maybe I could try like doing an FX overlay. So the question, if I manage to gather the question off the side, I could hand type it in and have it pop up on the top of the screen. I'm talking out loud, but that's behind the scenes, like something that I might actually do. And if one of you content creators that's listening beats me to the punch and steals that idea, more power to you. Because I may not even be around to be able to do that recording. So that's basically what I try to do. I try to plan around my day. But unfortunately, these things are not always planned. So we get like around a time that we're expecting these. Because of the way live streaming works and because of the way, real life is, sometimes you don't have that luxury. So I don't know what else to say about it. I will say that we've got an action-packed week. We've got a good shot at 314 live. I am pretty excited. And yes, and I do mean that after way past our bedtime now, basically. Way past. We're in early August when Chris Roberts was originally wishing for it to be mid-July as his goal and as the company's goal. And look, I'll say it like it is. I think it's smart that they held it back. I think, it's unfortunate it took that long to get the desyncs out of the way, and they could only do. I really wish they didn't just do the Xeno threat testing on the weekends at first, but it worked out. So, whatever their methodology and all these PTU iterations really show the hard work of all the teams involved. And I think I've said enough nice things. So, I'm just going to kind of leave it here and let's see 314 live hopefully in the next couple of days. Hopefully sooner than later. I want to see this. I want to see it in the rearview mirror so I can get more content out to you in live, not in this unstable conditions where like every other day, but every day at some, especially on the weekdays, we were hitting a new patch. But at the same time, I want to see a good solid 314 live get out there for everyone to enjoy. That'll do it for this episode. Please keep a weather eye on that horizon for a 314 live, but don't be shocked if we have a 314 PTU or two on the way to keep us off those rocks on this ship. I'm out of analogies, so like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate this. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful day.